Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Advanced WordPress Theme Development. In the previous video, we learned about how to create different templates, and in this video, we are going to learn about what is WordPress The Loop. So let's take a look. So I'm going to go to my repository, which is Aquila, and then let's go on to the WordPress org theme handbook, and this is the information about The Loop. So it says that the loop is the default mechanism WordPress uses for outputting posts through themes template files. How many posts are retrieved is determined by the number of posts to show per page defined in reading settings. So you can read through all of these information that's mentioned over here, but to sum it up, all I want to say to you that if you want to display your post content, so let's say you have your post that you have created from the backend, and if you want to display them, you can actually loop through them and display the title, description, featured image, content, excerpt, and things like that. Okay, so it tells you that you can display post title, excerpt, content, etc. So you can read all of the information. Now, how do we do that? The very basic loop is this one, which is if have post, while have post, the post, and then this inside of it you get access to the content, which will display the content of the post, the title, which will display the title of the post, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is going to loop through each item in the post for you. Okay, so it explains what does this function do. The have post function check if there are any posts that are available in the database, and if there are posts, then the while loop loops through it as long as the condition in the parenthesis is logically true. So as long as the have post continues to be true, the loop is going to run. Okay, and it says that the loop should be placed inside of index.php or any other template where are used to display the post information, because you don't want to duplicate your header over and over again. So all this is saying is that do not include in the header.php or footer.php. Just include that inside of the index.php in between your get header and get footer. So you can read more information about over here. I think now is the time where we start using this information. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back to my code, and I'm going to go close all of the files. If you remember from the previous video, we had set the block page from the WordPress customizer, right? I'm just reminding you, just refreshing your memory. We had gone to home page settings, we had created a block page, and we had set the post to the block page. So the post page will be served into the block page, which means that according to the template hierarchy, the block page, which is this block page, is going to look for the home.php. Since it is not there, it's just going to use the index.php to serve that, which means that we are going to use index.php to set this loop. Okay, so first of all, let me clean this up a bit, because this is all not needed. Okay, so since we are now going to use the loop, okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a div and give it an ID of primary. So ID hash. Okay, hit tab. There you go, and then create main with an ID of main, and then we'll just give it a class of site main, and then space. So since we are using Bootstrap, we already have some classes available, like we can give margin top of 5 pixels, so we just have some spacing. And then we are going to use the role main, so this is for like accessibility and screen readers. Okay, and this is where we are going to run our loop. So we'll say PHP, we'll open and close the PHP tag, and inside of this PHP tag we'll say if have posts, which means as long as the post is available. Okay, and inside of this we are going to again close and open PHP tag so that we can write HTML, and we will give it a div of container with a class of container, so that all of our content is wrapped inside of the container. Okay, and then over here we can go ahead and just open up our PHP tag again and say while have posts, and then colon the post. Okay, and then end while, and inside of this we can have anything that we want. So inside of this we will have access to the title, so we can say the title, the excerpt, also we can just get the excerpt of the post, etc. So let's try this out. So you go back to our blog page. So where would we find it? So I hit on the blog page, and there you go. You can see that we've got the title, beautiful valleys. So if you take a look, so these are my posts, beautiful valleys, new post, and if you edit it, this is my content. And if you click on this, if you go down, this is the excerpt. So this is the place where you can set your excerpt, which is an optional thing. So I can use the excerpt for that. If I want to display the entire content, I can just use the content. So if you want to use the excerpt, like which is kind of a short summary of the post, and then user can click on the heading, and then it'll take him to the single page of the post. Okay, so let's go with the content now. So if you use the content and you go back and check onto the front end and click on the blog page, and there you go. So you can see that you have beautiful valleys, which is the heading, then another heading, this is the content, right? So all of this information is being fetched. If you do an inspect element, you'll notice that this is the container we created, and this is the title which is being displayed without any heading tag, but we will fix that in a moment. But yes, this is the content that you see, paragraph tag, all of that stuff, block image. This is all content that's coming from there. Okay, so all of this content. Great. Now I think we should also wrap this in a container because it's looking quite ugly. It's because you max width of the site is this much, and then header should also be like that. So let me just go ahead and do that. So I'll go back to my code, and I'll go to header.php, and inside of this I have nav. So let's go to nav. So this is my nav. So what I'm going to do is just make this small, minimize it, cut the whole thing, and just wrap this inside of the container class. So now it'll just be easy because this will be wrapped and having the same max width. Yep, this looks good. Awesome, great. So now you see that we've got all of the posts being listed over here. These are all the post content and stuff like that. Now it doesn't look that good, right? Because first of all, it's not wrapped within the heading is not wrapped within the H1. You know, there is no styling or anything like that. So how do we fix this? So first of all,